I'm Darren. Today we're going to talk about striped bass. And we can say about striped bass, they're one of the most popular game species in the United States. Uh, so they're known by different names. Some people call them linesiders, some people call them rockfish, stripers, striped bass. You can catch these fish in many different ways. Um, some people like to drift fish for stripers. Some people like to fish for them off the ocean. They're found in all different kinds of waters. The ocean, inland tributaries, rivers, and landlocked stripers in lakes as well. Yeah, freshwater and saltwater, if that's a question you have. They do swim up into the freshwater on occasion during their spawning times, and some of the stripers will stay up in the rivers and they won't go back into the ocean. Those are called holdovers. Stripers are a schooling type of fish, so when you're in them, and there's a lot of them. One of the largest striped bass ever caught was 124 pounds. It was caught in a fisherman's net. One of the largest ones ever successfully landed was 81.8 pounds, and it was caught on an island off of New York, and it was near an island, and they were drift fishing. Meyerson was drift fishing an eel, and that's how he caught it there. Yeah, you can catch them on the shore or on a boat. When feeding, striped bass are known to choose one desired food and stick with it. So a lot of times if you can match what they're trying to eat, you're in them and you can catch lots of them. If you can't match what they're trying to eat, but you think you're giving them something good that they might want, and they're being picky, that's why, because they kind of communicate with each other what they want to eat, and if you're not giving them what they want, they will be picky and not eat it. But they do eat a wide variety of different foods, so you can try to catch them on whatever their prey is that they're after at the time. Lots of people use lots of different things, mostly bait fish, live bait fish, or of course the fishermen are going to use lures and so forth to mimic the type of bait fish that the stripers are after. When they locate their prey on the surface of the water and they launch themselves toward the surface to take their prey, it's an instinctual thing for them, and schools of striper will do this from time to time, depending on the location of the feeding area and what the temperature is like outside. In the summer months, areas nearest the dam of a lake or reservoir can be great areas to watch for jump fishing, or what we call it out here is the boils. We look for the boils. And if the bass are boiling, it's a little easier to find them because a lot of times you'll see the birds flying around because they're trying to get the bait fish as well. So if you can follow the birds, you can stay on that school of bait fish, and therefore you can stay on to the stripers because they'll stick with those bait fish. So for many fishermen, the question of whether striped bass do jump is still up in the air. No pun intended. But the bait fish, they follow what's called zooplankton. And zooplankton are the food for their bait fish, and of course the bait fish are food for the striped bass. So if you can attract the zooplankton, you can attract the bait fish, and if you can attract the bait fish, you can fish for stripers pretty well. And that's what we do out here in the Southwest a lot, and a lot of it's done in the South as well. And people catch crappie this way and stripers. And what they'll do is they'll go out in a boat and drop an green LED light over the side, about 10 or 15, 20 feet down, and that'll attract the zooplankton. The LED light will. And once you are out there for a while, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, the zooplankton will be all around your light from different areas in the lake. They'll come and see your light and they'll come toward it. And then once the zooplankton get there, you'll get the bait fish. And once the bait fish get there, it won't be long before the stripers are behind them. The best time to do this, of course, is at night if you're going to fish with a light. Plus, a lot of times we do this in the summer, so it's really hot in the southwest. And who wants to go sit and bake in the sun all day? So why don't we go fishing at night? So the best way to fish at night out on the lake where I fish, and which is Lake Mead, Nevada, in case you're wondering. But there's a lot of people who do this. Lake Powell and a lot of places down south use this kind of light to attract the bait fish, and therefore they can have a better striper fishing. And a lot of times when you get the striper around you at night, you know, you can catch tons of striper this way. Hydroglow is one of the names of one of the lights. If you go to my post on my website, you'll find a link to Hydroglow that you can check out. There's another one called the Timrain 1200 lumen. It's relatively inexpensive. It's $17.99, and you can try this out where you work, or where you play, where you fish, and hopefully you can work at fishing. Anyway, these lights are really cool, and they make your chances of catching a striped bass a lot better. You can still use you know, anchovies or whatever kind of bait you like to use, but the best bait to use is the live shad or whatever it is that's gathering around your light, because like we said before, the stripers, they're kind of picky and they decide what they want to eat, and then they go after that. So try to imitate the shad if you can, or I say shad, but it could be any kind of bait fish in your area. Try to imitate that. And you know, these fish in the summertime, because the water's warmer, a lot of times they will like to be down deep anyway, so that's why you put the light down 15 or 20 feet. You're going to want to find out what depth the fish are hanging out at, but wherever the shad are, they're going to come up even if they're down lower. Our fish where we live tend to hang out at around 18 feet. So we'll put that light down about 15 feet and clamp it off right there, and wait for the fish to come. So you might ask, you know, why have glow lights if I'm fishing for stripers during the day? You know, well, whether you're searching for jumping striped bass or looking for an early 4:30 p.m. dinner buffet, or always, you know, you can follow the birds in the daytime, like I mentioned before. During the day, when you're using your glow light, it's pointless, and the seagulls and birds dive bombing the surface are also great indicators of schools of bait fish and where they hang out. And whether you're fishing from a boat or from the shore, wherever the birds are circling, that's the way you're going to want to go. So if you can catch them close to the shore, then that's great if you're shore fishing, or if they're out further, you're going to have a boat to get out there. It's a tried and true method. A lot of fishermen use this, and watching the wildlife around you helps to develop a keen sense of what to expect. And it'll allow any great outdoorsman or woman to pinpoint just where they're looking for the stripers. They're evasive, those stripers. You got to find them.